I'm still in Shimonoseki, and for the benefit of those who are living overseas who have heard stories about Japanese hotel rooms and their tiny size, I thought I'd give you a quick tour of one and my take on them. This is room 611 in a Koko Stay hotel. It was something like 15,000 yen a night, but that was probably because I was staying on a public holiday. So it's certainly not big, but I think it has everything that I need. I spent 2 days here and didn't have any trouble. Japanese pillowcases are a little bit of a challenge. Pillows are a little bit of a challenge. They're not stuffed with feathers, they're stuffed with beans or something, so they're a bit hard and take some getting used to. When I came and checked in, I asked them for a room with a view of the sea, and they said, well, that wasn't really possible, or water or anything. But when I got to the room, I did in fact have a view of the sea over there in the distance, or a river or something with boats on it and stuff, so it was perfect for me. So the room has a small fridge, which is good, a desk, which is fine, a TV which didn't get used, cups, some coffee somewhere, a hairdryer, and a kettle. And for someone who's travelling just with a supermarket basket and a backpack, there was plenty of room for me, to be honest with you. Here's my friend from the Halloween night. I like the way his eyes go. I'm not sure what to do with him now because I don't want to carry him around the rest of Japan. I'll probably give him to some kid sometime. Then the bathroom is functional. A washlet, absolutely critical for me. A big mirror, a decent bath. Some of the hotels don't have baths, they only have showers, which I'm not a great fan of. I like to have a soak in the evening. So, although it's not big, it's certainly not bad. When I was running a hotel in Kawazawa, I had a Hong Kong guest check in, and I put him in room 208, which is our smallest room. And when he checked in, he said, "Oh, Chris, this room's huge." And I thought he was kind of taking the piss and being sarcastic. And I said, "I'm really sorry." I said, "It's our smallest room." And he said, No, Chris." He said, "I just came from an Appa hotel in Tokyo where we had the choice between us being on the bed or the suitcases being on the bed." So I think there are smaller rooms than this, but this is the smallest one I've stayed in on this trip so far. Not bad. Well, the Shimonoseki Marathon is underway. I'm taking it from the vantage point of the shrine, which is right by the fishing port. It's screwing up the traffic as usual, and I'm sure I could keep up the pace with them for at least 100 meters. Here's the huge torii gate for the shrine, and there are these committed people running their hearts out on a Sunday morning. Japanese have museums for just about everything. Earlier on the trip I passed a snow museum, which I avoided because I don't think that's particularly interesting. And then in Tottori, which is famous for its sand dunes, they had a sand museum. Again, I avoided that. This one here is retro stuff, lots of old telephones and cars and stuff. It's much more fun, I think, than looking at sand or snow. What's worrying is that most of this stuff is actually younger than me. Maybe one day there'll be a museum for Chris. Oh, they got records as well. I don't know if this stuff is for sale. I'll have a look. Oh, Saturday Night Fever. The sewing machines and clocks and stuff. Kind of fun. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Okay, that's enough singing. So I'm outside the old British consulate building in Shimonoseki. There are quite a few old buildings in Shimonoseki from Meiji era. This one was apparently built in around 1905 or something. I thought it was forced on the Japanese because of some war, but actually they voluntarily suggested that the British have a high commission here. Uh, Shimonoseki used to be a very important port, vying with Kobe and Yokohama for precedence. I'm going to go inside in a minute and probably have a cup of tea. They're pushing Peter Rabbit, the great British ambassador. So here's one of the rooms in the ex-British consul's office. I guess this is the main room where the consular officials would be. They have a picture of Queen Elizabeth still. I asked the guy, I said, how come it hasn't been changed to Prince Charles, to King Charles? And he gave me an answer that I couldn't understand, I'm afraid. From the gift shop in the ex-British consul, we find out that the true ambassadors for Britain are Peter Rabbit, tea, the Beatles, the Mini, and in a supporting role we have Paddington Bear. Unfortunately, the tea room is full. Despite the fact that I said that I was the ambassador from Tokyo, that didn't seem to cut it at all. So I'll have to go to Starbucks instead. This bridge connecting Shimonoseki in Honshu to Kyushu is pretty cool. I had to break my rule about not using a toll road in order to get on it. So I'll try and take some pictures when I'm on it as well and not crash. All right, here's the bridge.